We've all been there, staring at the task in front of us, knowing it's important, yet somehow feeling a strong urge to do something else, anything else. Maybe it's checking social media, grabbing a snack, watching a video, or even tidying up the house. The craving to do something that feels easier or more immediately rewarding seems to take over, and before we know it, hours have passed, and we've avoided the work we know we should have been doing. This behavior is not just a random series of distractions. It's a sophisticated defense mechanism that often operates beneath our awareness. These cravings aren't just about indulging in momentary pleasures. They're often a way of avoiding something that feels difficult, overwhelming, or emotionally taxing. It's not necessarily that the tasks we procrastinate on are inherently unpleasant, but rather that the thought of doing them triggers anxiety, fear, or self-doubt. To avoid these uncomfortable feelings, we turn to quick, easy rewards that temporarily alleviate the emotional discomfort. This is a powerful yet subtle form of avoidance, and it happens so naturally that we often don't realize it's happening until we're deep in the habit. The craving for instant gratification, such as the urge to scroll through your phone or watch a few more episodes of a show, serves as a temporary escape from the discomfort of tackling a difficult task. It may feel like a harmless act of relaxation or a quick reward, but what's actually happening is that we're using these distractions as a way to avoid facing deeper emotions, fear of failure, uncertainty about the outcome, or even self-criticism about our perceived inadequacies. These cravings often serve as a quick emotional fix, masking the discomfort without addressing its root cause. The immediate satisfaction we get from the distraction reinforces the idea that we are choosing something easier over something harder, but it's also reinforcing a cycle of avoidance. The issue with this is that while these distractions feel like they provide relief, they don't actually solve anything. In fact, they often increase our anxiety over time because the tasks we're avoiding don't go away. The longer we avoid them, the more difficult they feel. Each moment of procrastination is like adding more weight to the pile of things we need to do. Eventually, we end up with a backlog of tasks, feelings of guilt, and a heightened sense of stress. This cycle of avoiding important tasks with quick rewards may feel good in the short term, but it creates an escalating spiral of anxiety and unfulfilled potential. Understanding this mechanism is the first step in breaking free from it. The key to dealing with these cravings is to start by recognizing when they occur and what they're really masking. Often the craving to procrastinate is not simply a desire to avoid work. It's a reaction to the emotional discomfort associated with the task at hand. Instead of focusing on the task itself, we feel the urge to turn to something that will make us feel better in the moment. But to break this cycle, we need to acknowledge that the discomfort we're avoiding is temporary, and that avoiding the task will only make it worse. One approach to overcoming these cravings is to reframe the way we view the task. Often, we procrastinate because we perceive the work as a massive mountain to climb, full of obstacles and difficulties. But if we break the task down into smaller, more manageable steps, we can diminish the overwhelming feeling that triggers the craving for distractions. When we see a task as a series of small, achievable actions instead of an intimidating whole, it becomes easier to begin. The fear of failure, or the self-doubt that we might not succeed, starts to lose its grip, because we're no longer looking at the entire project at once. Another helpful approach is to practice mindfulness around the cravings themselves. When the urge to indulge in a craving strikes, whether it's checking your phone or grabbing something to eat, pause and notice the impulse. Instead of automatically responding, take a few deep breaths and observe the craving without judgment. Ask yourself, what is this craving really trying to avoid? What am I afraid of right now? This moment of self-awareness helps create the space necessary to make a conscious decision rather than reacting on autopilot. By acknowledging the craving and the emotional discomfort related to it, we can make a more deliberate choice about how to respond. It's also helpful to understand that cravings are often habitual. The more we give in to the urge to procrastinate, the stronger the craving becomes. Each time we avoid a task in favor of a quick reward, we reinforce the neural pathways that link procrastination with relief. Over time, this becomes a self-perpetuating cycle, but just like any habit, it can be broken with conscious effort. Instead of trying to eliminate the craving entirely, we can work on redirecting our attention to the task at hand, even if it's just for a short time. Every time we resist the urge to give in to the craving and make progress on the task, we are strengthening our willpower and creating a new habit, one that links action with relief instead of procrastination. Another way to deal with these cravings is to give yourself permission to take breaks, but in a more intentional way. Rather than letting cravings control your actions, set specific times for relaxation or reward. For example, you might decide that after completing a set period of focused work, say 25 minutes of uninterrupted effort, you'll reward yourself with a short break to indulge in whatever craving you've been resisting. By setting boundaries around when and how you give in to your cravings, you take control over the cycle, ensuring that the break doesn't turn into hours of procrastination, but serves as a healthy and intentional reset. Ultimately, the key to dealing with these cravings is to shift from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. Rather than allowing the craving to control us, we can start to take small steps to confront the discomfort and make progress on the tasks we've been avoiding. This doesn't mean we'll never crave instant gratification again, but with awareness, we can begin to respond differently, choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term relief and learning to face the discomfort of important tasks rather than run from it. Over time, this approach helps us build resilience, strengthens our ability to focus, and ultimately leads to greater personal growth and achievement.